Hey metalheads, we're back with another band review this time.
Bucovina from Romania.
Romania.
I think this is the first time we're venturing not only Romania, but into the eastern part of
Eastern
Europe.
Bloc.
Right?
Yeah, if you don't count Russia.
This is where we're going to get too complicated in geopolitics. Yeah, we did feature Aria in a very nice battle of the bands suggested by Metal School. So you should, guys, definitely check it out. But I think it's definitely the first Romanian band we're featuring. And this is also by suggestion of several people that recommended it. And then I got into it, and it's my turn to present it. Also, because there's a personal element into this, even though it's obviously very, very remote. Some of my ancestors apparently have their origins in this region, in this historical region. So maybe I could claim some form of Bucovinian ancestry, not proven by any genetic analysis, but by storytelling within my family. It's like the father of the father's father type of thing.
Interesting. I have a question. Does this band have an accordion?
No, it does not. Why?
Because Romanians, they do the...
Yes, where does the band come from, like musically? And I think it's definitely firmly into the folk metal realm with a touch, I would say, of black metal. Again, labels notwithstanding in their full accuracy, but there's some growling involved and some harshness involved on the top of a folklore, folk metal layers. They themselves call themselves a band that could be, they make music that brings of mountains and magic together. So their lyrics are a lot about mountains, winds, rivers, and such natural phenomena. They're very nature close, and their inspiration is this particular region that is a cross-border region that is divided today between northern Romania, southern Ukraine, and maybe a bit of the Republic of Moldova, but historically was a coherent region. I don't know so very many details about this. I don't want to go into the historical details, but these guys are based in Romania, and the band was found in the city of Iași in the year 2000 by two guys, one of the lead guitars and vocals and the drummer. And I must say, preface, for all the songs, pay attention to the drums. This guy is crazy. He looks extremely poised, like no sweat, nothing is moving, but he's like a duck under the water. Those feet, my God, the speed is amazing. So, again, I try to dig a little bit into this band's history and what they do. There's not so huge amounts that I could find. I, again, found it in the year 2000, which is quite a way back, but unsigned to any major label. So that makes probably their visibility and publicity not so prominent. We featured another band way back when, Judicator, that was another unsigned, or at least for the most part of their work, unsigned. And that does not affect at all the quality of the music, but it does affect the way that they are promoted, the way they are on tour, participating in festivals and whatnot. However, what I could find about Bucovina is that it won one of these metal competitions at Wacken, the festival in Germany in 2011. So they were able to perform there in that same year. And I think that kind of raised a little bit their profile internationally, despite the fact of them being an independent band. Their most popular song, which is the one that we're going to open with, and by the way, they sing in Romanian, which adds an element of sophistication to this fact that we're not always sure what it is that they're saying. But knowing that they're talking about nature will help kind of understand what's going on. The first song is called, let me exactly pull it out, is called, where is this video? Let me just, it's called Spune tu Vant, Tell Me Wind. And so it's a story about a wind and the whispering of winds across the landscape of this region. And it has
what to expect.
exactly. And it has a lyrics video.
Nice.
Which may or may not be helpful. If you have any Romance language background, probably it will be enough for you to, navigate what's going on.
That's great. I'll let you know what I think the song is about.
Exactly. At the end of the song. Spune to Vant.
Sub sloiuri turbate, dacă ai văzut pe unde ai trecut, urme adânci săpate în stânci, pe creste iernite, în ape oglindite, poteci neumblate să ducă departe.
Okay, I have no idea what that was about. I tried. I make no sense of it.
But then you could freely listen to the music.
Yeah, connect to the nature. It had for me a bit of a moon sorrow-ish, not in the vocals, but in the
Yes, and it's very well picked up because one of the major inspirations of the band, from what I read from several interviews, is Nordic black metal, and they refer to a Norwegian band called Vintersorg. I don't really know it very well, but it's primarily this Norwegian band, but I think it's basically about these northern territories, this kind of black metal. The spirit is there, and again, I double checked, and the song is about an icy wind. So that's why there were all these winter landscapes. So it's also kind of related to the north musically. So I think that's what the two founding fathers of this band were listening to, and both their stage names are two wind names, like. Krivets and Vifor. They're like two different types of wind, like north wind and east wind kind of names, and so they go by that stage name when they
underplayed element in the metal lyrics. I think the wind.
Yeah, I liked it when he has like a whisper. Like in this song, it was like.
Yeah, very, very, almost like trance-like, right?
You can listen to this forever, and this is exactly what happened. This song comes from an album from 2013 called "Under the Stars," Substelle, and all their albums, are rather short. They don't go over the hour, definitely below that. But honestly, you can put it on repeat. I listen to this fully, like a day of Bucovina, not bored at all. And it just gets you into that groove, especially if you don't pay attention to whatever they say. It's just like, wow, super, super melodic at the same time with a power. Yeah. So
I go back briefly on my previous statement and say there is swords in the wind and there's hammers in the wind. And raise your fist to the wind, but not so much wind itself.
Wind itself. I think the wind is the storyteller in this, from what I understand. It is about the wind telling the story about this, like icy wind. It's kind of an unfriendly wind that tells some stories. So that was their most popular song. Again, 2013, I think it was released as a single sometimes before, but on this album, Under the Stars. So it was about the wind and nature, and it's about that spirit. I read a couple of interviews with one of the founding fathers, Krivets, and he was saying that the band basically does whatever they want. That's one of the reasons why they don't want to be signed to just anyone, because they want to have their artistic freedom. And they also have this kind of community kind of songwriting. When somebody has an idea, they exchange it with the other guys in the band and they play around with it, they shape it, they add lyrics, they add some instruments and transitions. And when they're done with their story, they're done. That's why their albums are not very long. When they feel like they have completed that theme, they stop. They don't just want to produce for the sake of producing. And that's the freedom of not being labeled, that you don't have to have, you have to produce one more song because we need to have it over 55 minutes or something.
Free as the wind.
Yeah, it's about the nature. And the other theme that goes through, it's a lot of poetics and philosophy, and this idea that it's kind of an existential philosophical meditation about life and the meaning of life, if I understand that correctly, and connecting humans and nature, in which way humans can embrace nature without being a activistic environmentalist, just like the connection between being a human and being part of nature, growing old, embracing that part of you, and memories and travels and all that, leaving a mark in your soul. From what I understand, yes, exactly. Whatever purpose human existence Whatever purpose human existence has in the universe, is a quote from an interview that I read. So it's this kind of meditational music, I suppose. So all the lyrics are very poetic and they rhyme as well. And I thought that the next song that we're going to play is going to illustrate this, and also kind of the diversity of the band. The name or the theme of the song is the autumn season, and I'm born in the very late autumn, almost winter. But hey, I can relate to both winter and autumn, and I thought, finally, a song that doesn't think the autumn is absolutely dreadful. At least this is what I think, or maybe it's very, very dreadful. But they made a pretty good song about it. So, "Give Me Your Hand, Autumn" is the name of this song. Which is from, I think, an album from 2016.
Okay.
And it doesn't have a video. This is just the album cover. Yes.
Wow. The middle part there, first I was thinking it sounds kind of punkish, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And it brought me directly to Elven King. Heathen Reel.
Yeah.
It is absolute early Elven King. Yeah.
It's so cool with that change, like do-do-do-do, and then a little bit of a melody, and then the drums. Insane.
Yeah, I really like the middle part.
Yeah, it's so like you sing along. I think it's fantastic and much more. And I was wrong. The album is from 2018. I'm sorry. They don't have that many albums. They release a lot of the songs independently and then they group them together, from what I gather. So it's not entirely clear when a certain song was launched. But the album itself is from 2018, and the title is Unswerving, like unmoving, the name of the album. The final song that we're going to play, I have a little bit more of a story to tell for once. Again, I don't know so much about the band, so if you guys know any background story or any other things that you want to comment and enrich this presentation, please feel free to do so in the comments. The last song that I am going to play is called Wait for Me on the Other Side of Death.
Oh, shit.
And I actually made sure that I understand everything and translated this. I actually understand quite a lot of Romanian, just for everyone who wonders, but I just wanted to make sure that I get the subtleties in the language. So it's a very beautiful song, very moving. And it's dedicated, they composed it in 2016, and this is why I know the dates, in the memory of a very good friend of the band. The name of the man is Adrian Rugina, who died, who was one of the victims of a fire at the Collective nightclub.
I remember that.
In Bucharest. The blaze took place in 2015, and I'm checking my notes here. 64 people died as a consequence of that fire, which was obviously an immense national tragedy. It led to huge amounts of protests, street protests, a lot of mobilization, and national sorrow. And most interestingly, maybe for anyone who listens to this episode in 2021, also led to the very first Oscar nomination for a Romanian film. And again, I'm checking my notes. The name of the film is Collective. And in 2021, it has been nominated both for Best Documentary Feature and for the Best Foreign Film, which is the first time this happens for Romania, and the second time in the history of the Oscar films that we have this double nomination. So it's supposedly a very great film. I haven't seen it myself, but after reading for this, I really want to see it. It's about a journalist investigation in the background of why that tragedy, the fire happened, and how it was managed. And apparently it's very, very exciting. It's not only a film about the tragedy, which obviously is going to be very sad, but it's also a film about the journalistic investigation, about dealing with adverse circumstances if people try to cover up their trails and so on. So I recommend you all to check this out, and maybe it will win an Oscar, and then it will be more widely distributed. However, go back to the song. The band Bucovina knew this guy, Adrian Rugina. He was a metalhead, and he was a producer of several shows produced while in Romania, worked with the likes of Metallica and Madonna, and according to the band, everything in between. And he died while saving other people. So he went several times back in the burning building and pulled out people. But in the end, he was eaten by the flames himself. And I will actually quote what one of the band members says in an interview before we play the song. And he says, one of the guys says, Adrian died after returning to the burning club several times and saving other guys, and he became a national hero. Sad to see that people forget way too easily about guys like him. We don't. Both me and Mishu, the drummer, have his name tattooed on our bodies, and we wrote a song in his memory. Eventually, the song became Asteapta-Ma Dincolo De Moarte, and we even shot a video for that particular song, which we will see. Adrian goes with us wherever we may roam. He's not alone, and neither are we. He just lives on inside our hearts. So yeah, that's friendship for you, I think. So obviously, wait for me on the other side of death. And obviously this song in these Corona times goes for everyone who has lost somebody.
Yeah, I can see this with the nature focus from other songs being deep.
It's deep and it's very beautiful.
while saving other metalheads.
Specifically. Yeah, what was
It's interesting. I think about it like it's interesting to hear some of that more black metal. Obviously, it's a very melodic song, but in non-Finnish or in non-Norwegian, because you get with Romanian, you get more of you get these octaves and these ooms. There's a different, it's a different sound. But to me, I don't understand either. So it's still like to me, it's very similar, but it's also a different
vibe.
That's interesting to listen to. But very good songs altogether.
Yeah.
Again, it reminds me a lot of Elven King for sure.
It's an Elven King combined with Moon Sorrow.
Yeah, something like that. Definitely.
And I cannot recommend enough. Everything they've done is amazing. I was debating choosing some other songs on top of the ones that we had, but it's just like so much you can do. I recommend Last Winter, Ultima Iarnă, which is about an old wolf who is going to lose his place in the, how do you call it? The wolf pack.
The wolf
pack,
tribe or whatever.
And so it's his last winter. Like he used to be the boss, but now he's old and he's
losing alpha male status.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a pretty beautiful story about nature and winter. It's a lot about winter. A lot of story about this region, Bucovina, about the geographical emplacement and about the mountains of the region. I think one of the other songs had something like when the clouds are as big and heavy as mountains. So clouds and mountains just kind of meet. It's very, very cool. I listened again to all that they had on Spotify and really enjoyed it very much. Don't know so much about the Romanian metal scene. This is the one band that I know. So if you guys know other bands that we should listen to or from other countries, let's say in the eastern part of the continent, you can also recommend it. Obviously, we want to expand this, but this was definitely a first content and then deep dive. I'm like, oh yeah, just give me everything.
We got a lot. Just thinking comments I've been reading recently, we got a lot of requests for this Pathfinder, Polish.
Pathfinder.
So
maybe that's our next step into this territory. I don't
obviously
know it.
Poland, Romania, totally different, right? But,
I don't know anything about Pathfinder and what the.
And there is one Ukrainian band. I don't know the name because it's in Cyrillic, but they have some good stuff. So we'll definitely
maybe we'll dabble more into the eastern part. But as an opener, Bucovina, I also like the way they write their name. I would like a T-shirt with this. It's impossible to find, at least for me, anything about this band. Their homepage doesn't work.
Yeah, but that's also, I was thinking about, this idea of being like unsigned is pretty cool.
They still have a lot of views, like millions and millions of views on YouTube and on Spotify as well, a lot of plays. So I think, like with Judicator, I think good music, just hopefully taken by fans, taken by people who really like it, can be exposed to a wider public. So again, this is a small attempt to maybe publicize a little bit about this band that maybe not so known outside Romanian circles, but I really thought was so, trance. Like you could listen to this forever.
Yeah, definitely solid. Nice to get some folk outside of the Nordic region. That's for sure.
And there's many other like more folkish even songs. Can only choose 3, so I stopped here. I don't have any much more to say about the band, except that I hope you'll comment more and let us know the background or information about this, about the stories around the band, if you have any, and suggest some other bands we should review for the channel.
Absolutely. But in the meantime,
may your sword stay sharp
and your quests end in glory.